think we live.
Yes, it says live.
Yep, we're live. Oh, we can get going. Hey, Marcelle, how are you?
Hi, Leanne. Great, thanks. How are you doing?
I am so good today, and I'm so privileged to have you on my Wellness Wednesday. I used to do these quite often, haven't done one in quite a while. So for those who don't know me, I'm Leanne Mendel, and I'm the business owner of Leanne Holistic Health and Beauty. And this is my special guest today, Marcelle Maisel. She is the business owner of Enlighten My Health. She is an established health and life coach, and she's also an absolute expert when it comes to hormone health, gut health, and just toxic-free living and products. And I just want to jump into having this quick chat to you today to talk about healthy living from the inside and out, gut health, hormone health, all those things. So just to start off, can you just explain to everybody that's listening, like, what problems do you solve?
Okay, so firstly, Leanne, thank you so much for having me on. It's a bit of a privilege, so I appreciate being asked. Thank you. It's very exciting for me. Okay, so basically as a health and a life coach, what I do is I work with women in menopause that are struggling with weight gain. I help them to uncover their hidden stories in their relationship with food and with themselves so that they can feel better and look better through nutrition and lifestyle adjustments.
Awesome. That's a mouthful. All that, if you're listening. That's so good. That's just so aligned to what I'm so passionate about too, is helping people to feel their best, look their best. And, it's all about your mind, your body, and your soul all working in harmony so that you can live your healthiest and happiest life. So, just a little backtracking. Marcelle and I actually met back in November. I was doing a health and wellness expo with Maccabi, and I was exhibiting over there. Actually, Arbonne, I was an exhibitor, and Marcelle was actually a guest speaker for this expo. I think there were about a couple of thousand people that attended that event, and that's how we officially met. And I think it was just love at first sight. Well, not really, to be honest, because I'll never forget the first question she asked me was, what was I qualified in? And being a professional makeup artist, and also, I have an IT background, all that. Like, I'm not qualified in I'm not a nutritionist. Like, that's not my qualification. And at the end of the day, I was just so proud and excited to meet someone like Marcelle who complements my business and actually supports me now also. She's also a business partner for Arbonne and an ambassador for this global company, and just we're so proud to be working together now, helping people get healthier and happier. So, I know that you are so passionate about toxic-free living and also beauty. Can you just explain for everybody a little bit more about, why is this so important not to be loading your body or your skin? We're all washing our bodies, our hair, putting stuff on our face, makeup, skincare, bath and body products. Like, why is it so important not to be having these toxic chemicals? Like, we hear about the fact that these chemicals disrupt hormones. But what does it actually mean for women and in our health in general?
Okay, so, unfortunately, every single day, our body is being exposed to toxins at some level. We're walking outside, we're breathing the air, we're breathing the inside, we're eating, we're drinking, we're putting on skincare, we're washing our hair, we're brushing our teeth, we're putting on deodorant. All those things have a certain amount of toxicity associated with them. And what do these toxic chemicals do? They're called endocrine disrupting chemicals. So what does it mean? It disrupts your delicate balance of your hormones. So why? Because they block or they mimic the natural action of hormones in your body. And this can lead to all sorts of negative health effects, things like heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune disease, weight gain, even infertility for both men and for women, gut imbalances, cancers, anxiety, autism. So every single day, these small amounts that we are exposing ourselves to build up over time. You know, your liver is your part of your natural detoxing system, and it is able to detox out a certain amount of toxins on a daily basis. That's part of, you know, when we poop, we're getting rid of toxins from our body.
Right.
Problem is because every day, and the average woman puts on about 500 chemicals onto her body every single day. So if you think of somebody doing that every single day for 30 or 40 years, that is building up a huge toxic load, it's called, into her system. And eventually she's going to get to a point where her body's not going to cope with its natural detox pathways, and she's going to get this overload, and that's when she gets sick, and that's where she can get all, you know, some of these negative health effects that we spoke about. So what can you do to reduce? Firstly, there are things that we can do to control our body's exposure to toxins. So one of the first thing is to be conscious of, firstly, what you're putting on your skin, because once you put something in your skin, it gets absorbed within about 26 seconds into your bloodstream. Yeah. So you can control what you're putting on your skin. That's purely our choice. And you can also control what you're putting in your mouth. So choosing to eat things like grass-fed meat and organic fruit and vegetables all works together to decrease your toxic load. So yes, I hope that's answered your question.
So have you actually had clients? I mean, you probably have, but I'd love you to elaborate. Like, have you actually had clients that have come into your practice and actually experienced some of these issues, and then working through them, you've actually discovered it's been because of their toxic load?
So it's very interesting. It can have a huge effect on issues with weight loss as well, funnily enough. So you can have clients that, you know, they do everything right. They're absolutely doing everything. They're eating well. They're exercising well. They're sleeping, etc. But their body is holding on to the weight. And then we can have a look at all their products and their skincare products and possibly the perfumes that they're being exposed to, etc. And by reducing those toxins, the body can actually get rid of fat that it's holding on to. Because when you get this toxin that comes into your body and then the fat holds on, protects, basically holds on to the toxin, and it's doing that because it's protecting your organs. So once you get rid of those toxins and you start flushing out all those toxins, your body actually lets go of that excess weight. So it's definitely a big one in terms of weight loss.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I mean, that actually then ties back into the Arbonne 30 Days to Healthy Living program, where you're actually doing whole food clean eating. And you're incorporating the nutritional supplements, which actually help break down that stored fat around the organs at a cellular level, so you can flush out those toxins.
Absolutely.
Light bulb. I still remember attending one of your lectures earlier this year, and you were presenting on hormone health to a group of ladies, and you were giving the example of, I think it was a client of yours who was struggling to fall pregnant. And when you looked at some of the products she was using, by just swapping over from toxic loaded products that were, you know, not vegan, not cruelty free, like products that were just not, you know, loaded with unsafe chemicals, and then you work to swap her over, that, you know, it improved her fertility.
So I'll just disclaimer, it wasn't a client of mine because I don't deal with fertility issues. It was somebody else. So the issue was, this woman had been struggling for a long time to fall pregnant, and she walked into the office of this woman and she had got this incredible whiff of perfumes. So anyway, they were chatting, and she ended up going to the woman's house, to her client's house, and she saw air fresheners and scented candles, you know, in every room, and the house just really had the strong, overpowering smell. So these smells and the way they linger in the air is the companies use something called phthalates, and phthalate is a hormone disruptor, endocrine disruptor. So she got her to get rid of all those artificial smells. And within a few months, this woman actually felt
amazing. Well, thank you for clarifying, because that actually sticks in my mind. And I just think that, you know, this is so real. Like, I know we're talking about, you know, hormones, and I know you're also very, you know, expert in premenopause and postmenopause, but there are a lot of young girls out there as well, you know, and we are getting more mindful about what we're putting on our skin and what we're eating. But it's just such an important message to share with women all over the world, no matter what age you are, that you do have a choice.
Yeah.
So moving on, gut microbiome. I mean, we hear about this all the time, you know, healthy gut microbiome. Your gut is like your second brain, or maybe it's your first brain. I mean, at the end of the day, I would just love for you just to share, like, what are your thoughts about this gut microbiome? Why is it important to have a healthy one? And, you know, what are some of the foods that we can actually avoid, or some of the foods we can eat to actually help boost that microbiome?
Okay. So when it comes to the gut, Hippocrates, who's the father of modern medicine, 2,500 years ago, actually said all disease begins in the gut. And for some reason, modern medicine has just forgotten this. But now it's kind of coming back to them. You know, this term microbiome, 5 years ago, nobody even knew that they had a microbiome.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, no exactly. Idea. So when you talk about gut microbiome, what is this? This is the population of your good and your bad bacteria living in your gastrointestinal tract. So the reason it's so important is 80% of our immune cells actually live in our gut. And when you look at disease, 90% of diseases are linked back to your gut. You know, we've got more bacteria in our gut than we actually have human cells. So there's in two areas, there's more hormones in your gut than there actually are in your brain. So we've got about 400 times more serotonin in our gut, which is our feel-good hormone, and about 500 times more melatonin in our gut, which is our sleep hormone. So if you think about, if you eat rubbish, you actually feel like rubbish, don't you? There's a total connection between your food affecting your mood, and this is why.
Food affecting your mood.
I actually got that from Jim Quick. I don't know if you know, he's anyway, he's an amazing.
Love Jim Quick.
Yeah, he's fantastic. So he uses that, food affects your mood. I also love it. So your good gut bacteria actually play a role in regulation of your thyroid hormone, your reproductive hormones, and also your cortisol. And they also help your body, your liver, to remove excess hormones in your body. So having your good gut bacteria affects so many areas of the health of your body. And we actually have a direct connection between our gut and our brain through the vagus nerve. So, you know, people think sayings like, listen to your gut, or I've got butterflies in my stomach, they think it's folklore, but it's actually, it's a real physical phenomenon, because it's completely connected to your brain. And any messages that get disrupted between your gut and your brain can actually have negative effects on your health. So looking after our gut and feeding our good bacteria what they need to thrive is so important. It's like the root of everything. And that's why, actually, a little bit of a plug, but one of the things I make sure that I do every single day is I actually take Arbonne's Digestion Plus, which is the probiotics, because I want to make sure that I'm feeding my gut healthy bacteria every single day.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we can get onto foods if you
Yeah.
want me to talk about food.
Well, you said like avoiding obviously the addictive inflammatory foods is going to help your gut, of course. But
absolutely. Sugar, I mean, the bad bacteria love sugar. So yes, if you want your bad bacteria to grow and proliferate, absolutely. Feed them sugar, feed them processed foods, feed them the refined carbohydrates. They'll have an absolute party there in your gut, and your health will suffer.
So but what are some of the good foods like that we can eat to help with that?
Okay. So fermented foods are filled with bacteria. So things like, well, firstly, there are two types. You've got your probiotics, which are your good bacteria, and then you've got your prebiotics, which is food for your good bacteria. So you actually want to have both. You want to have both of them. So the prebiotics are things like your green, very high fiber vegetables, kale, spinach, chard, then things like raw asparagus, raw garlic, artichokes, some nuts, almonds, cashews, then there's apples, bananas. They feed the good bacteria. And another thing that's really great is if you make a baked potato, say you make a sweet potato for dinner and you've got leftovers, and then you eat it the next day. The next day, it's full with prebiotics.
Really?
It's yes.
I'll do that.
They love that sweet potato that feeds your good bacteria.
I always do that. I love leftover sweet potato.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, I'm doing something right for my gut. Other than also take my Digestion Plus. But
hold on, I haven't spoken about the probiotics yet.
No, you must talk about the probiotic foods. So what are some of the probiotic foods?
Okay, so those are the fermented foods. So like kimchi, which is the Korean fermented cabbage and carrot, and sauerkraut, miso, tempeh, which is fermented soy, all those fermented foods. Kefir, now kefir is an amazing one. It's a fermented dairy product, but it's actually got about 32 strains of bacteria in it. So to eat kefir, they actually nowadays make a dairy-free one for a lot of us that are not eating those inflammatory dairy foods. So you can get coconut kefir now. It's made from a bacterial strain, and it's called a kefir grain. That's what it's made from. And if you can get that into your diet, it's so high with strains of bacteria, it's fantastic for your gut. So that's ways to eat probiotics. Now they're only transient, basically, which means they last about 24 hours. It's not like you can have them once a week. It's got to be something that you have every single day.
Right.
Yes, so you can either do those natural foods, or then you can add supplements as well, like the Arbonne Digestion Plus, which has got amazing probiotics in it.
And I think a lot of people are more open to adding supplements now because it's proven that like we're not actually able to consume enough. I mean, even with like you're talking about some of those green foods, like Arbonne has the Greens Balance, which is like 37, a rainbow of 37 different fruit and veg, which is basically whole fruits and veg that's been crushed down into a powder form. And it's packed with inulin, which is a prebiotic.
Yeah.
And you've got your spirulina and your omegas. So, who cuts up 37 fruits and veggies every day? But I guess that's the point, is that, whole food cleaning, absolutely, but we actually do need supplements as well to support that healthy gut and overall being. Wow.
Can I just make a comment on that?
Just like an encyclopedia of information. Yes, make a comment.
So I was listening to a podcast. I love me my podcast. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was one of these like real biohackers, health gurus that obviously eat impeccably well. Okay. And I was fascinated when he said, he takes a multivitamin supplement. He actually takes like a greens every day.
Yeah.
Puts into his smoothies because,
Yeah.
and I thought, oh my gosh, somebody here who eats like nobody can eat better than this man. And
It's
even when he was tested, he found he didn't have sufficient vitamins and minerals in his system and all the nutrients that one's body needs. So somebody like him, then I'm telling you, the whole world needs to be taking like a greens or a multivitamin or something.
Definitely. Yeah. We all do. We all do. I wanted to just finish off by talking about this new product called Intercom. So Arbonne brought out this Intercom product. It's an adaptogenic de-stress powder, and it's one of its main ingredients is the ashwagandha. And I'd never heard of it before. And I reached out to a couple of naturopaths and other people like yourself, and I asked them, okay, what's the whole go with this ashwagandha? What is it used for? Why is it so good for you? What does it help you with? And so if you could just share with everyone, you know, I know you've been using this product too, you've been trialing it yourself, so I'd love to know how you've been going on it. What is the whole thing with this Chinese herb? Like, why is it so special?
So I don't know if it's Chinese. It's actually used in Ayurvedic medicine.
I'm getting confused. Yeah.
Yes.
That's why I need people like you, right? To tell me.
So I was very excited when it was launched recently. I think only about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Because ashwagandha is not, from what I find, is not that readily available. So of course I ordered it straight away, and I've been taking it every day since then. It's basically used, it has a myriad of benefits, ashwagandha. It's called an adaptogenic herb, which basically means it helps the body to adapt to stress, which during COVID, absolutely, you know, we're all experiencing a lot more stress than we have. So the timing of this release was perfect. So it has so many benefits. It's quite amazing. Helps to boost your immune system. It helps to boost your thyroid hormone. It decreases stress and anxiety. It even helps to decrease your blood sugar levels, better sleep quality, which we all want. But for me, and that's just some of the benefits, there's so many, but for me, the main reason I wanted to try it was to decrease my menopause symptoms. And I must say that, look, it's personal. And just because it's working for me doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody. It's a very personal thing. But for me, my issue was hot flushes. And I have found that since taking this, I don't get hot flushes during the day anymore. So for me, look, it can help with, and it can help with other symptoms as well, because you know, it balances mood and sleep quality. And these are all things that as we're going through perimenopause and menopause that we are experiencing. The other thing that's very exciting, it can also help to increase muscle strength, which as we age, our muscle mass actually decreases. It can also help with brain function and memory improvement. Memory, I know, that's just perfect. And the other thing I was excited about is it can improve bone health. And a lot of us can suffer from osteoporosis, one of the main symptoms from, you know, of menopause, unfortunately. So there's so many, and it even combats signs of aging. So it's like, hello, give me this miracle cure for aging, please.
Really, aging as well.
Yeah.
Ashwagandha, that's the ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha root.
So just to be clear, we're not saying that the Arbonne product will fix all these things. This is Marcelle's personal testimony. However, it does have this main ingredient in it. And if you do your research on the ingredient, you will see that one of the things that Marcelle has shared with us today are some of the things it can help with. But please always connect back to your health practitioner, your naturopath, your doctor. You know, there are disclaimers around all of this, and we're not here to say that it will sort this out for you, but certainly we're very excited to have this new product in our range and available to be able to share that with our clients. And I'm so glad that you've actually tried that and seen some positive benefit. I'll be honest and say I haven't actually tried it yet. It's just one of those products I haven't tried yet. But it is really great when we can get incredible testimonies, particularly from people like yourself who, have a, you've got a pharmacist background and that you're also qualified in nutrition, and this is what you do, live, breathe every single day. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for being on here today with me. We should definitely do more of these.
For sure.
Really, I just learned so much. I feel like I talk to you quite a lot. We talk to each other all the time, but I've just learned so much today. And I hope our audience too has taken away some valuable tips. Marcelle, if you'd like to go into this post at the end and just type in your business contact details, how people can follow you on social media, how can people reach out to you. If you have any other specials or offers as well, please feel free to include that at the end. And thank you so much again for being on here. I'm so grateful to be connected to you. Marcelle's also part of my Wellness Hub, amongst many other incredibly awesome, amazing professionals in Australia. So excited to just continue to work with you and go change lives.
Thank you, Leanne. So much. Thanks for the honor. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Take care. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.